Hey guys, we're gonna do a quick Underside walk around video. Pictures are one thing, but video's another.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So center chronicling looks really nice. I'm gonna be driving here in a minute, so I'll see if I find anything weird with it, but allegedly the car is awesome. No rust, no corrosion. So the flex disc looks really nice. I don't know if you saw my underside photos, but I see a newer shifter bushing up there, and there's one that's still up there. It looks really nice too. Still have the pads underneath where you can put the jack, where you can lift. I see a new transmission mount as well right there. Another flex disc that looks like it's in really good shape. I see a new fuel pump, fuel filter, new hoses as well. Axle boots are not torn. Nice and pliable on both sides. Differential's dry. No self-leveling suspension on the rear of this car, which it's a really tough system. You don't ever have to worry about it, but I know a lot of people do, so could be a plus. No corrosion there. Spare wheel area is really nice too. It's a good car. I don't smell anything. I don't see anything weird. No old fuel, no oil. It's super nice underneath. There we are. We're gonna do a cold start video just to prove that it's nice and cold. I'm touching the manifold. Let's sneak on in here and crank it iron on up. The lights light up. There we go. It's that familiar starter noise of a Euro M117. They got a really high-pitched, fast cyclical whine to it. Super quiet engine. They just did engine mounts on this. When it's running and idling, you really can't tell it's on. It's scary smooth. Try not to asphyxiate back here, but cool. There's a cold start video. Let's go walk around next. All right, let's do a quick walk around on this 1985 500 SEC. Try to be as thorough as possible. So this is a super clean, very original car. And whoever's buying it, I'm sure is probably be buying it sight unseen, so I like to kind of disclose anything I see. The paint's in really good shape, astral silver. You got like one little ding right there. But that was really the only thing I saw actually in the car. I think I saw a really tiny one on the driver door. Yeah, I just see 2 or 3 right there, right around here, but that's it as far as exterior imperfections. So there's no rust on this car. There's not a lot of history on this one. It was a Belgian car originally, and it was imported right when it got to Belgium, to the USA. And we believe it's been in Atlanta, I think, its entire life. The Carfax starts around 2001, saying Atlanta. But just based off the condition and rust, it looks like it was kept in a garage in a very southern climate, which is really cool. So you got the heck blender right here. Let's see, there's actually a brand right there. It says Sockets. Someone a little bit more familiar with these. Made in Italy. Cool. So you get the original pinstriping, which matches the blue interior. Really cool door handles. These were designed so if you're driving in rainy conditions or snow, it would keep the door handle clean, so you didn't get dirty hands when opening and closing the door. The mirror boots are in really good shape, and they're actually flexible. And these are original, just based off the way they fit. So if this car saw sun, these would not be like that. It'd be like hard plastic that would have a lot of cracks in it. Let's see this one. Yep, that's also an original boot, and it has so much elasticity to it. That's really cool to see. Some more pinstripe down here. There's your wheels. You got brand new Toyo tires on them. They feel very balanced, very smooth, very quiet. Amber corner lights. There's your glass European headlights. Your grille as well. These like to delaminate around here and around the star. This one has no delamination on the chrome. These are really expensive. Last time I looked, they were running for, I don't know, $500. That was about 7 years ago when I had my 560 SEC. Mine was doing the same thing. But we have original glass. I don't know if the GoPro can make that out. It's got all the Mercedes-Benz. There we go. Stickers in there. Front windshield, I think that was the only one I photographed actually, so let's go ahead and cover this in the video. There you go. And then the rear. There it is. That's hard to make out. Alright, well it's there. There's a Mercedes-Benz star right there. I'm hoping it comes out. It's hard to see on the tiny screen. Glass is in really nice shape. Rear defrost on this one. No signs of clear coat failure. No rust under the paint. All the wheel arches are in really nice shape. Clear coat's really nice too. These clear coats like to fail. They're not that strong. The Clean Air Act affected paints as well. Mercedes-Benz had a hard time getting the metallics to last a long time with their durability. Especially when they see sun, you'll see crazy in the clear coat. This one is really nice. Okay, let's go to the interior. First of all, door shut on a pillarless coupe. Sounds G-Wagon-esque. They're really good. So, one thing to remember about these cars is how damn expensive they were back in the day. I mean, you have chrome plate here, chrome here. They didn't have to do that. The details are amazing. There's your importation sticker right there. All the wood's in really good shape. The leather's nice. SECs have leather-lined door pockets. These will get all kind of messed up around here where your feet scraped. The owner was careful. And you can see how blue the factory carpet is. So it matches in tint and pigment to the carpet that's been covered. So this car was definitely garage kept. This will turn gray and ashy if it sees UV. Seats also in superb shape. The previous owners were either of a petite build or really careful getting in and out of the car. The side bolsters, this one right here, we usually roll out of it if you're careless, matches the height of this one. So, or it's been redone at some point. I can't, it's hard to tell, but you can see there's plenty of really good bolster. I mean, if you look at this one, you'll see a little bit of dye coming off here, but usually these will have scrapes from people having, you know, stuff in their pockets. When they roll out, it'll scrape the leather. This one's really, really nice. Door jambs are in good shape. All the wood is really, really pleasant. This panel is a little bit more blonde than this burr walnut over here, and also here. Makes sense. It's got 79,000 miles on it, so that's got 79,000 miles of just UV from coming into the windshield, so that's totally normal and original. But that said, there's not a single crack in the veneer. Non-smoker car, I can tell you that for certain. There are no smells, there's no sign of tobacco being smoked in here. It smells like royal blue leather from Mercedes-Benz. These cars have a very distinct smell. Each die, if you know these cars, if you blindfold someone who knows the smell of these things, they can tell you what the color interior is based off the smell. Dash is in superb shape. There's one little crack here, but blue dashboards, if you're unfamiliar, crack the easiest. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the dye they use, the chemical makeup of it, but blue dashes crack even without seeing sun. On really anything, you'll see them on 123s. Sometimes on 124s, 124 dashes are pretty sturdy, but regardless. So you have original floor mats back here. It's nice seeing the cap still in place. A lot of these get kicked off and broken, so that's good. Rear seat's very nice. I don't think I really were ever sat in. It's cool on these as that comes out. Just the armrest. Let's go ahead and sit in the back. So I'm super familiar with these. My dad had 3 of these when I was a kid. I spent a lot of time back here. Really comfortable. You do have your own button for rolling down the windows, which I always thought was cool in the 90s. First aid kit. There's your little cubby storage for your gloves and hats. And you can tell, again, more proof of lack of sun is the color of this parcel shelf. This will be white or gray if it saw sun. Also, these will explode in your fingers if you do what I did. These plastics get super brittle and they just fragment. Headliner's in nice shape. Get a little bit coming undone right here, but the rest of it is original. That is original textiles, I can tell. So that's never been done before, but it's all glued quite nicely. Cool, that's the rear seat. We also have rear AC back here. Glove box, showed that in the gallery. Your seat backs are in nice shape. And to remove these headrests, you press that indentation right here, or else you'll break the contact in the rail here. So that's super important. Not just for any Mercedes of, you know, this era. And this arm extension works, as does that one. I'll try to get that on video here in a moment. You know what, I forgot. Steering wheel. So you have the early wrinkled style steering wheel. These are not leather wrapped. It's, I guess, I don't really know what material this is. It's like a plastic or vinyl. It's more of a vinyl. There's your gauge cluster. You get a little bit of white dot disease. That's easily remedied with about $20 in parts. You get some 2000 grit sandpaper, and I like to use black Plasti Dip. It matches the black ABS plastic perfectly. And if you want to repaint the needles, there is a model paint that matches it perfectly. If anyone asks questions, I will reply in the comment on my main account and send you guys a link to that. I'm all about keeping these cars on the road and in original condition and keeping them nice. Door panel's in perfect shape. There's no rust under the doors. I shot that with my camera. Also, these are here. I saw some white lithium grease on the seat rails, so those have been greased before. These get kicked and broken. It's cool to see that. Again, there's your blue carpet. There's no tape lines or anything. Alright, let's go to the trunk real fast. Again, being very thorough. This is kind of what's needed for these cars. So, safety triangle, always cool, very European. And if you listen to this, it sounds like a jewelry box. These will sometimes rattle. They detach right here. You have like a double-sided sticky foam padding back there, and those will rattle when you shut it, but that's nice and tight. And you also need to be careful of these too, because you'll collect condensation and these supports will rust out. And these are perfect, even the light works. So, I'm gonna smell it. Very clean back here. I smell no signs of water intrusion. Usually these seals will get weak and brittle right here, and then if you park pointed uphill, water collects here, traps in the dirt and leaves, and it leaks in the trunk. But I don't see any signs of that. And the seals are very clean. And there's not a single crack in it, and it's just rubbery and supple. And I want to say it's original. So again, signs of it being kept in a climate-controlled garage. So we got some fun stuff in here. That looks like a fuel filter and fuel pump shield, I guess a spare. Here's your phone, which I love. Whoever buys this has to hook this back up and just flex at Radwood, because that's how you win shows. There's your windshield wipers. There's a tiny blade, that one detached, but all there. Underneath, there's your spare, your toolkit, and your jack stand, and your lift. So that's the original bunt underneath there on an original Pirelli P77. Also, another proof, or more proof that this car never had water intrusion, is this particle board is not deformed. You can tell it's nice and straight. These are water absorbent and will bow when you get water in the trunk, and also mold. So again, listen to this click. The haptics on this car are the best. Aluminum trunk and also an aluminum hood. All right, well that about covers the exterior. Let's go for a drive. Got our original Mercedes-Benz key. Just gonna go for a couple mile jaunt here. There we go. Also, when you put these on, I like to put my shoulder up against it and support it so I don't bend the arm and the mechanism. And that's how you keep those alive. Oil pressure went to 3 bar before the car even cranked. That's nice to see. I'm gonna adjust my seat a little bit. I'm gonna have windows down. It's actually kind of nice outside right now. I don't think it should affect my audio too much. Cool. Turn on my Euro headlights. Flex on all the North American spec 126s around here. We are in Atlanta after all. We have a huge MB scene down here. All right, so 1985, you have 5-liter M117 in here, high compression engine. You're making, I think, actually more, almost more power than a 560 SEC that we got here in the US. From an engine that has less displacement. And these engines, the power is all past 12 o'clock on the tack. These rev out. Okay, sorry, I thought I lost my wallet there for a second. Let's not do that. Let's go straight. Let's cruise around for a moment. So, right away, I'm gonna get a little bit of oil temperature before I get on it. It's not quite warmed up yet. Shifter bushings are nice and tight. Lots of torque off the line, not as much as a 560 SEC, but that doesn't matter because this engine's more motorsport derived than anything else. So this car does not have SLS rear suspension. This drives very similarly to my short wheelbase 126 car, where an SLS you'll feel the car dip and you won't really feel the rebound up. This car you'll feel one dip, one rebound. It doesn't wobble around like you're on a waterbed like so many of these do with deferred maintenance on the suspension. The suspension is really nice on this car. I went over some speed bumps and I felt no clunks, no pops. The boys over at DC Motorworks went through this car and it drives really well. I believe European steering boxes are also different than North American spec cars. They're a bit sharper and a little bit lighter weighted. So it's really pleasant to drive. Now that I think about it, I was in a 560 SL the other day and the steering's actually way lighter in these Euro cars. I guess Americans equated heavy steering to a sporting nature. I don't really know why. I think I'd have to do the research and maybe write an article on that. That'd be fun. AC does blow cold. Compressor turns on. AC is nice and chilly. Here's some bumps right here. There's nothing from the suspension. It is as tight as a drum. I'm getting really lucky in driving some really nice cars for the MB market. Shout out to the users and submitters who put their cars on here. They are maintenance freaks and I love it. So I was doing some driving off camera before I started rolling, so we're gonna nail it here. Test the kickdown switch, make sure it goes into first gear. I'm gonna get in front of this Mazda. Gear changes are super snappy, as a healthy 722.3 is. And yeah, where a 560 would stop pulling around 4,400 RPMs, this car pulls until it bangs off red line, then changes gear violently. I love it. These are super mechanical cars. brakes feel really good. The pedal grabs up high. The brake pad material feels like an OEM brake pad. I noticed that they get dusty very quickly, so I think it is a Mercedes-Benz brake pad in there. It's not like an Akabono, which feels a little glassy and slick, and the brake pedal depresses more than usual. I like an Akabono, but they don't feel good. This feels more OEM and original. Alright, I'm going to flip around here in a second. We'll test the turning radius, make sure the power steering box doesn't whine at full opposite lock. The turn around somewhere around here, I know that for sure. This is a very, very sorted SEC. I had a very nice one for 5 years that got me through school, or through college. That's why I commuted in. And mine was one of the nicer ones on the road. I know what Concord condition cars of these feel like, and this is a nice one. I've been saying that a lot about cars I've been driving recently, but everyone I've been helping with auctions seem to get their cars very dialed in before I go out and photograph them and video them. So it's a really great group of guys, and we have, like I said, a really good scene down here with a lot of good shops. There's tons of talent down here in Atlanta that works on these cars. And a lot of OGs from back in the day too that know how to keep these cars running. So let's see, we're gonna go down to third. We're gonna go down to second. I'm not gonna kick it down to first because that would be red line. Pulls up hill very nicely in second. So on a C126, if you're going around a turn like that and you're in a low gear and you let off, a tired car will want to snap oversteer. This car felt very stable. The rear end didn't heave up too much. It felt very planted. And the shifter bushings are very good. It's $5 worth of parts that makes a huge difference. So many cars don't have shifter bushings. And it's very sad. All right, well, we're gonna come up here and I'm just gonna drive it around for a little bit more. I don't want to return it back to the owner yet because I like this thing. But if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave them in the comments below. He will get to you immediately or very, very fast, I'm sure. The owner's super cool. He's got a ton of Mercedes. E55s, SL600s, or sorry, yeah, SL600s and ML63s, cars with 156s. He's very familiar with maintaining these cars and knows who to bring them to service them. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Bye.